Welcome to the #1 best on YouTube, money back guaranteed, lower body, dumbbell only workout. You can do this at home, in your garage. You can do it in your living room. You can do it in your kitchen. You can do it at the airport, grocery store. That's a little weird. Do it wherever you want, but all you're gonna need here is a dumbbell. Ideally a few, or like back there, a set of adjustable dumbbells, which you can get for pretty cheap. I actually just bought a new pair. Hold on, wait, don't run away. Don't go anywhere. Oh, there's that. I got some power blocks. I got these two. I got two of those guys up to 70-ish pounds for like $350. So if you are a home workout person and don't have adjustable dumbbells, highly recommend it. All right, enough talking. Let's get into it. I lied. One more thing. Okay, so there is a little bit, obviously I'm joking, but there is a little bit of truth of what I said. From what I have seen and scouted and researched on YouTube, I'm pretty underwhelmed by especially like the home or dumbbell only home workouts. It seems like they go in the direction of a lot of burn, a lot of reps and stuff like that, which for you, it gives you the good perception of burn and working hard. But in my opinion, not the most effective of workouts, especially if you're looking to build any type of strength, put on any type of muscle, maybe down here, ladies, or anything like that, tissue tolerance, et cetera, et cetera. So this is why I do truly and confidently can say this is the best one. All right, now enough talking. Let's get into it. All right, first exercise pair is an absolute banger for the glutes, hamstrings, just overall killer for the legs. And what we're doing here, this is a unilateral superset. So unilateral meaning just one leg at a time. I think this is kind of major key when we're working out at home, just because we generally don't have a ton of load to do bilaterally with both legs. So single leg is awesome, especially for the primary exercise. So what we're gonna do, A1, A2. So these are gonna be paired together. We're gonna pair together either a glute bridge or hip thrust, depending on kind of where you're at in this fitness journey. I am doing these on a bench, but you can do them on a couch. You can do them on a chair, maybe on the coffee table, on your dog, I don't know. But you do not need a bench for this one. Pairing that one, that's gonna be A1. This exercise is going to be a short bias movement, okay? Which essentially means it's the hardest at the squeeze position. You can quantify that by joint torque and quantify that by external moment arm length. Not gonna get into that, but a great exercise for the squeeze. And then we're gonna pair that with an exercise for the stretch or for the lengthened position, which generally, if you go short to lengthen, you will have a little bit more juice in that lengthened position here. But we're gonna do something a little bit different in this superset that you probably have not seen before. And what we're gonna do here is we're going to start with the hip thrust. We're gonna have a 3-second pause at the top. I like to stay in the 8 to 12 rep range on these ones. If you need to add additional resistance, place a dumbbell right on your lap, place a baby there, your dog, whatever the hell, okay? But remember, good squeeze at the top and make sure you're getting your hip up as high as you can. 3-second pause at the top. After you get that 8 to 12 reps, ideally we're getting probably 1 to 3 reps in reserve. So meaning if 10 reps is failure, stop at 8 or 9. And then we're gonna go directly into a Bulgarian split squat on that same leg before we swap. So normally with supersets, you go left, right, and then you go to the next one, left, right. Not today. Left leg hip thrust, right into left leg Bulgarian split squats. Then give yourself a minute, catch your breath. This is fucking hard, like I said. Then we'll switch to the right side.
Good.
Oh, get that squeeze in there. Feel them glutes. Yeah. That. And then right after that, so that was using my left leg, left glute. So then coming out to that Bulgarian split squat, you can also do a normal reverse lunge or normal split squat. Let me raise you up here. And then immediately, we're going to Bulgarian. And if you want to make these extra spicy, you can either, 1, add a pause at the bottom, 2 to 3 seconds, or even super spicy, we're going to do a 1.5 reps. So then we get even more length and exposure, which means even more glute gains. So for that, all the way down, big stretch, half, back down, then all the way up to the top. Coming down, half, back down, all the way up to the top. That's gonna be our first superset here. Let's go. 3 sets of those. And what I like to think about to make this super simple, each set, just make it harder. So I think of the first set, number 1, which can be kind of warm-up feeler set, easy medium, which I would quantify that by maybe 5 reps from failure. Set number 2, medium hard, 3 reps from failure. And then the last set, fucking hard. Go for it, 0 to 1 reps in reserve on that one. Super spicy. Whew. All right, now that those glutes are nice and torched, let's move on to them quads. All right, so what we're gonna do here is a ideally heel elevated, either goblet squat or a dumbbell squat with the dumbbells just kind of hanging out to the side. Now, I have these fancy heel raise things. You might not have these, which is fine. You don't need them. You can use, I don't know if you can see this, hopefully, these are just dumbbells. You can use these. You can use anything that raises your heels up. Put like 37 sugar packets. I don't know, whatever. Step on your boyfriend or girlfriend's toes, whatever. Anything that raises your heels that's relatively sturdy, go for it. And the reason we're doing this is generally, when we're in this position, this allows 2 things. More dorsiflexion from the ankles, so bend from the ankles, and also helps manage our center of mass more. So generally when we're in this position, the natural inclination, is that the word? Hope so. I'm dumb, I count reps for a living, is to have your knees travel forward. And this is a good thing when you're targeting or trying to target your quads. Now, again, if you have some crazy knee history, then be wary of this position or whatever. But if we want to bias our quads as much as possible, we want some of that forward knee translation. I'm smart, okay? So let's get into it. All right, so here's your demonstration for all you weirdos out there. I'm gonna give you this kind of side front view so you can kind of see a little bit of both here. So heel raise, again, we want some of those knees traveling forward. You can do 2 different ways. You can just go standard goblet squat. So the biggest cue that I give clients, especially when we're, again, targeting those quads, we do want to think more knees forward, not so much butt back. Butt back, it's not bad, but that's gonna target more glutes and hamstrings. Knees forward is going to target more quads, okay? It's just biomechanics, physics, blah, 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 blah. I'm not smart, I don't know what I'm talking about. So what I do is I say, picture your back is against the wall, and the only way to go down is essentially by going knees forward, all right? But we're going 1.5s today. Super spicy. So let's get nice and low, and again, as low as you can for tolerance. If you have no knee pain or discomfort, bury that motherfucker. If not, then maybe go a little bit higher. So here we go. Getting deep, nice stretch on the quads, half. Keep tension and control, coming right back up. Ooh, that's a spicy one. Ooh. And if you need more weight, you can just go 2 dumbbells to the side here. This is what I do because I'm like super duper strong. So normally I hold like 2, probably like 400 to 500 pound dumbbells each. So what I do here, again, same exact thing. Back is against the wall, knees traveling forward. Oh yeah, yeah. Wah. Yeah. There we go. So similar rep scheme. And again, if you don't know the research, the science behind specifically hypertrophy, so putting on muscle, most important thing is proximity to failure. We want to approach failure as close as we can while, again, managing fatigue, making sure everything feels good. We're staying in control. We're making sure quality is number 1. But we want to get closer to failure. And you can do that anywhere. I mean, it's showing like anywhere 8 to 30 reps. So it's okay if you only have 10-pound dumbbells and you have to push 20, 25 reps, that's fine. Again, once you start creeping above 30, that's when I'm like, yo, go to TJ Maxx or whatever the hell, see if you can snag some cheaper dumbbells, go to a garage sale, whatever you need to do. But let's treat this the same way as last exercise. Pretty much everything is gonna follow that same 3-set thing where it's kind of like warm up, fewer set, get used to the movement, easy, medium. Again, probably 5 to 8 in reserve or something like that. Just getting used to the movement. Set number 2, we're gonna crank that mofo up. We wanna go probably maybe 3-ish in reserve. Last set, let's dump that out, 0 to 1 in reserve. And again, anywhere from, I'd probably say on this exercise, 8 to 30 reps is totally fine. All right, I'll see you on the next exercise. Woo. Well, I know, Clarice. All right, what is going on here? All right, so next exercise, this is gonna be another superset. So I want to do something that's a little bit even more hamstring focused, but more specifically, the function of bending your knee, okay? So the hamstrings have 2 main functions, hip extension. Whoop. So we did get some of that from the first superset of the hip thrust in the Bulgarian split squat, yes. But then we also can't forget about flexing the knee. So bending your knee, kind of like kicking yourself in the butt. This one is harder when we don't have as much equipment, but lucky for you, I'm a wizard and I know what I'm doing here. So we're going to do some hamstring walkouts. If you have a Swiss ball or sliders or even plates, you can do slider hamstring curls, which I'm gonna put somewhere up here. But I'm gonna show you the way that you can do, again, at the airport or at the grocery store or at IKEA, wherever you wanna do it. Oh yeah, and then I forgot the pair. And then the pair is going to be a lateral lunge. So this movement I love, but most people, they don't love it in the beginning because it feels awkward. We are used to doing lunges in what's called the sagittal plane, which is kind of front and back, super simple. Now we're going in the frontal plane. Again, I'm very smart. So it's going to be a lunge shifting left to right. Besides just getting a great lower body leg workout, I think there's some kind of functional stuff that is great with this exercise, learning how to shift your hips left to right. You get some kind of nuanced internal and external rotation of the hips and other things like that. Again, this is just trainer talk. I don't even know what I'm talking about here. But yeah, so this is a great superset. So let's get into it. All right, I'm gonna try to talk you through this as I'm doing it. Kind of dumb, I should do a voiceover, but let's see how this comes out. So what you're gonna do, let's start with your heels basically right by your fingertips, whatever these things are called. We're gonna bridge up. And the whole time I want you to think, keeping the hips up as high as you can. Keep them up, keep them up. Don't let them sag, keep them up. Squeeze those glutes. And then without allowing your hips to drop, you're gonna take a couple steps out. Keep those hips up, keep those hips up, keep those hips up. Oh God. And I want you to go almost all the way straight. Look at it. Floor is lava under your butt, okay? Don't burn your butthole. And then same thing coming in. As you're stepping, hips up, hips up, hips up, hips up, hips up. Yeah. 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 That's all you get for that one. So on this exercise, again, I'm gonna treat it the same way. Every single exercise or set or whatever is gonna be 3 sets. Easy, medium, medium, hard, hard, okay? It's probably gonna be in the 6 to 15 rep range, but with these home workouts, all of you watching, 13 probably of you watching are at a different level. So for some of you, maybe 2 reps is that 1 to failure, 3 to failure, whatever. Some of you might have to go 15 to 20 or something like that. So like I said, effort, proximity to failure is always number 1. So as long as you're getting effort and you're getting close to failure in those last 2 sets, you are Gucci, I promise. All right, let's go on to the superset. All right, so let's go over the pair. So what you're gonna do there, hit those hamstring curls. You don't need to immediately sprint up, but come up and we're gonna go right into it. So let's call it 30 seconds and under to get ready to prepare. Don't slip and fall, whatever. So on this one, let's go nice and wide. Most people go way too narrow on this one. So I'd probably say go even wider than you think, because some people are here and then it's really, really awkward because their legs are too long to shift the hips and whatever. So we're gonna go nice and wide with the feet. Try to keep toes pointed forward, because sometimes what I see from new people is they do this and then they just turn it into a regular lunge. Remember, we're trying to do this frontal plane where we're shifting our hips side to side on this one. All right, so let's get into it. Nice and wide. I like to say you got a little chair behind foot number right, and foot number left. And we're gonna try to take a seat or give it a nice little tap here. Tap it in, nice and tappy. Okay, so shifting hips. Keep this leg locked out. And we do want some forward lean. So look at where I'm at. Hands as a counterbalance. It's okay to have some forward lean. Come up nice to the top. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Boom, boom, boom. And this one, to make them harder, kind of same thing. You can add a pause. You can add a 1.5. You can even add a dumbbell. Boom. And we will alternate from side to side. Or, to be honest, for most of you, if you're new to this, I'd use range of motion as a progression because this exercise is hard. So I'm gonna give you back again to that side view. Day 1, it might look like this. I think you can see. Not a ton of range of motion here. And then maybe by week 4 or week 2 or whatever, you're going a little bit lower. And then week 3, a little bit lower. And week 4, something like that, okay? So treat this the exact same thing. Easy, medium, medium, hard, hard on the last set here. It's probably going to be somewhere in that 5 to 20 per side. Rep range on this one. Get a good burn, get some effort. I'll see you on the next one. Well, hello again. All right, so this is going to be the last supersets. I'm not gonna bore you with 9,000 different exercises. And again, if you're giving appropriate effort, and like I was saying, getting close to failure on those last 2 sets, you don't need a ton of volume or exercise variety, all right? I promise you, if you do these exercises, give good, great, excellent efforts, and then focus on each week, making them a little bit harder by either adding some reps or adding some load. I promise you, you will get the results that you are looking for, okay? So last one here, I'm sure you've seen it a million times. This is actually a variation of a side plank with a hip dip, but I'm gonna explain this a little bit different way. So most people, they think of side plank of just this kind of core oblique movement, but actually it's very good for what's called, let me get back, hip abduction. So that's going away. The way I learned this was someone's abducting you, they're taken away. So that's the going out to the side, and also adduction. So how I learned that, adding to, all right? So that is bringing your hip towards your side. So this is an awesome function of the hip. It's just a function of the hip, but it's awesome to train this as well, just because again, I'm big on also longevity. This is a Tai Chi. That's what I decided to do when I said longevity. So it's just good for, again, general kind of hip strength, tolerance, capacity, et cetera, et cetera. And you're also getting some core, some oblique, some QL, et cetera, et cetera. So that is going to be number one for us. And then number two, just to make sure this is kind of somewhat complete, we're gonna get some lower leg stuff, and we're just going to pick a different variation of a calf raise, either double leg or single leg. So let's get into it. All right, so side plank, hip dip. Again, I'm gonna try to talk my way through this. Probably stupid, should do a voiceover, but here we go. So biggest thing I tell people is I want to make sure that we have basically a straight line from our ankle to our ear, okay? Not like this, we're not doing that, but this, a nice straight line, all right? Then from here, we can kind of pop the hip up, all right? We want to think of keeping a nice stable brace. Easiest way to think about that, someone's gonna kind of punch you in the stomach, or maybe if you drop the soap, keep the glutes squeezed as well too. And then from here, you don't necessarily need this thing. Hey, you can put your hand wherever you want. Sometimes as you get fatigued, or if you're new to this, have this for a little stability. But all we're gonna do from here is dropping the hip down, coming back up. Dropping the hip down, coming back up. And again, most people don't realize, what do you think your feet are doing? One foot, the bottom foot, is pushing down. That's hip abduction, taken away. The other foot is helping by pushing in, adduction. So you're getting core, but you're also getting a great hip stimulus as well too, okay? Biggest thing here, I don't wanna see this bullshit. Feel the movement, take your time, full control quality, remember? And I like to kind of come up and contract. We just get a little better sensation there, a little bit better feeling. Same thing, 3 sets of this one. Easy, medium, medium, hard, hard, super duper duper hard, whatever. There's your ABCD, D1. See you on D2. You come here often, little lady. Okay, all right, that was just weird. I apologize for that. Let's get on to this last exercise. Last one, single leg or double leg calf raise. Again, depends on where you are at in this fitness journey. If 2 legs is appropriate for you, do 2. If you're a little bit more advanced, like me, you might do single leg. And I'll show you a few kind of variations to get us a little bit spicier either. Especially if you're gonna do single leg, have a wall, have a chair, have something to just add some stability so we're able to drive a good amount of output from the calf when we're not worried about balance and whatnot, okay? So you can go flat on the floor. I'm gonna lift one leg up. We're gonna come up. I'm gonna give a nice little pause at the top and then just control the descent. Same thing, nice little pause. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so there's kind of variation 1. All right, that's gonna be, I guess, the second easiest, because obviously we can start double leg here, same exact thing. Or what we can do, hold please. Remember that ramp thing or the dumbbell or the 37 equal packets that you stacked up? This is probably gonna be even better. Some of the science shows that that stretch position is really good for building muscle, specifically in the calves. Be careful if you have any Achilles issues, this could kind of light it up a little bit. So there's my little disclaimer there, which I actually do on my left side. So I'm gonna do this on my right side, but getting a nice good stretch will make this even a little bit more kind of productive and effective. So same type of deal here, getting a big stretch, wall for stability, coming up, little hold, big stretch, boom. And then if you want even spicier, hold please again. Add a dumbbell. So what I like to do on these ones here is I'll usually hold it on the same side, play around with it, see what feels kind of better and more balanced to you. Slight nuances here, but it doesn't matter all that much. One hand on the wall for stability, one hand on the dumbbell for a little bit of additional resistance. And then we're gonna go through the exact same thing. Big stretch coming down, popping up. Traditional. All right, ladies and gentlemen, humans of the internet, there you have it, okay? There's your full body, best, most effective workout, dumbbell only, or your money back guaranteed. Little recap. Started A1, A2. We had that hip thrust paired with that Bulgarian split squat. Again, pause on the hip thrust. If you want extra spicy, add a pause or 1.5 on the Bulgarian split squats. And remember, going left to left, rest, right, right. 3 sets, everything is following that. Easy, medium, medium, hard, 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 super hard. Okay? Next one, we're going with that heel elevated, quad bias, goblet squat, or just dumbbell squat to your side. Same exact thing. 3 sets following the same thing, easy, medium, blah, 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 blah. Next one, so that's B1. Then we're going to C1, C2, which is going to be those hamstring walkouts paired with the alternating lateral lunges. And then we're finishing off on the floor, side plank, hip dips. Ooh. And then the calf raises, either single leg or double leg, or add that heel raise for an extra stretch. Everything again is following 3 sets, easy, medium, medium, hard, hard, super hard. Anything from honestly 6 all the way to 30 reps is fine. Work with what you have available. If it's just water bottles, it's just water bottles. We don't need anything crazy. We need effort. We need ideally close proximity to failure. That's it. And let me know what you think. This is new for me. I think I'm gonna kind of stagger out my talking head, kind of boring content with these more kind of interactive where I can show you different workouts and whatnot. So if there's anything you specifically want to see, and it doesn't matter if it's, hey, can you show me an upper one, show me a chest focus, show me a push, a pull, a this or that, or any boring talking head stuff that you want me to go over, please let me know down below. Very much appreciate every 17 of you that watch this. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Again, I absolutely love what I do. I've been a trainer for about 15 years, and I've trained pretty much everyone and anyone in that time. Everyone from doctors, celebrities, lawyers, to just normal-ish people, even professional poker players when I lived in Vegas. Kind of cool, right? So let me know what you think. Follow along, and appreciate you guys. All right, I'm out.